Okay, good news. Finally got my date for my, let's see if I can pronounce this correctly, lithotripsy. That's when you get, it's the common treatment for kidney stones, extracorporeal shockwave treatment. So, it's 16 days away, and I have a week before I have to have pre-tests. And the pre-tests are chest x-ray and cardiogram, EKG, and probably blood pressure, all that stuff. And then the day of, I have to fast. I'm not even allowed to drink water. I'm not thrilled about that. And the actual procedure, it's going to take a couple hours. So I have to get dropped off and picked up. And the actual procedure, they do a contrast dye intravenous so they can look at real-time x-rays to locate the largest stone, which is 8 millimeters, and then I think it's a big tube-like machine. I have to do some more research. But they put me under, so I'll be totally under because you can't move, because the shockwave machine, they raise the decimals, they start at the low decimal, and they're going to aim for your stone. And if I was awake and wiggling and moving around, they could damage outside tissue. So we don't want that. So I'm going to be totally out, and it's going to take a few hours, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually looking forward to the day after, because I want this done and behind me. And like I said in my last video, I'm going to do everything possible to prevent future stones, because this has been a real pain in the ass. It's funny I say ass. The other day at work, someone was kind of making fun of me because I don't curse at work. I mean, ass. That's not really a curse word, I guess, but I prefer not to, because I don't really think a corporate environment is appropriate, especially being, and this may sound old school, but I don't know, I don't think it's attractive, especially for a woman. But here I am deviating. I apologize, but I'm big on deviating. I read that it is perfectly acceptable for men to say the F word because they have trouble expressing their emotions, and when they're angry, even in a corporate environment, the F word is perfectly acceptable. And I thought that was interesting. And they said, don't be offended, because men have trouble expressing their emotions, and when they use the F word, it is them expressing whatever they're feeling. I thought that was interesting. So anyway, the other day, someone kind of like was goofing on me about it. So I said, shit. So someone came up and said they wanted to have a meeting, and I was talking to this other person. And so I said, oh, you guys can get together. I'm just shooting shit with this so-and-so. And I said, I'm saying this for your benefit because you said that I can't say a 4-letter word in the office. So they thought that was hysterical. Of course, it was 2 guys. Isn't it funny? It's like very, it kind of shows you the double standard of stuff. I mean, like, it's my personal choice not to curse at work. I mean, like, big deal. What's the deal? It's just language. If I choose not to use that language, I would think that I would get a little bit more credit for not talking like that. I don't know. But then if it's just language and it doesn't offend others, so what? I choose not to use it. So what's the big deal? Accept it. So anyway, deviated a lot. So I'm looking forward to the day after my kidney shockwave surgery is done. And I'm going to do everything in my power to walk the straight and narrow and prevent future stones. But one thing I wanted to say lastly about being an advocate for loved ones. I was thinking about this. You always need an advocate. And if you ever have a loved one in the hospital, like this, I know from personal experience, it's best if you're going to visit somebody, don't all go at the same time. Like have some of your family members go during different visiting hours to check up on the quality of care that your loved one's getting. So, because one time when my dad was in the hospital, my mom went during the daytime and I went at night. And nobody knew I was popping over there. I popped over at night, and I remember going into his room, and it was cold, and he was shivering. And he said he asked for a blanket. Nobody brought him a blanket. And the blanket that my mother had brought blankets from home and put on his bed, those were gone. What they did was, and she put his name on them too, they gather him up, take him, and throw him in the laundry, and they never come back. And he told me that there was a blanket on the bottom of his bed that he couldn't reach. And he asked the nurse, and I don't know who this person was, it could have been a nursing assistant, to give him his blanket. And I guess she ignored him and left. And the blanket was at the bottom of the bed and he couldn't reach it. So, of course, I went and raised Cain. And it's funny because I'm not, over the years in my life, I think somebody that know me, I haven't always stuck up for myself. But when a loved one is in trouble, hell, I can take the bricks down off a building, so watch out. But anyway, the point of my story is, if you go at different times, you just need to make sure your loved one's being taken care of. So it was funny because my dad said, he goes, "Why are you here? You didn't have to come." After he's like shivering and I got him blankets and all this. I said, "Well, if I was in the hospital, would you come and see me? Would you be there?" He goes, "Of course I'd be there. You know I would." I said, "Dad, I'm here for you. I want to be here for you." So, and this was quite a while ago. It was before President Obama made it into office for president. So I remember sitting there with my father watching the news and chatting, and he had said, "I hope he gets in. I really hope he gets in," because he really liked Obama. But anyway, remember, if you're going to be an advocate for somebody and you have multiple family members, just go different hours and check on them because it makes a difference. So anyways, wish me luck on my, well, I'll be talking to you guys before, but fingers crossed that they blast the kidney stones. Anyway, I'm talking too much. I apologize. Good night. Have a great week. Shut this thing off.